Hey everybody, it's Leroy from Leroy Gaming, and in today's Baldurs Gate 3 guide, we're going to be looking at the Wild Magic subclass for the Sorcerer, which is a very wild and unpredictable subclass. We're going to be covering features at level 1 of character creation, including ability recommendations, full level 2 to 12 breakdown. I'm going to give you info on all spells available as you level up, as well as information on the Wild Magic options, a general equipment recommendation, and my thoughts on multiclassing the Wild Magic Sorcerer. You can use timestamps below to jump to areas that most interest you, and remember to drop a like and leave a comment below with your thoughts, feedback, and questions. And now without further ado, let's go and check out the Wild Magic Sorcerer. Now when it comes to stats, the Sorcerer's primary ability is Charisma. You're going to have saving throw proficiencies in Constitution and Charisma, and you have a hit die of 1d6. Your proficiencies are in Daggers, Quarterstaves, and Light Crossbows. Now at level 1, you are going to get to pick 4 cantrips, 2 level 1 spells, and you will get 2 level 1 spell slots. You get access to a variety of cantrips. I will be mousing over all of them as I go here. You can pause at any time to read the descriptions. I will be using the same format for the spells so that you will see everything that you'll have access to as you level up. And here are your options for the level 1 spells. Now when it comes to your features, you will get to pick the Wild Magic subclass at level 1. And you're going to start with Wild Magic, and the descriptor is Wild Magic stems from the forces of chaos. It churns within the sorcerers that wield it, waiting to burst free. And the way that this works is baseline. Anytime you cast a level 1 or higher spell, you're going to have a 5% chance to trigger this effect. And right now on the screen you should see a list of some of the main effects that you can get when this happens. You will notice some of these are quite beneficial. Some of these are a little more neutral that can affect both enemies as well as allies. And then some of these effects can be quite hostile as well. So if you like rolling the dice and having various effects happen to make your gameplay experience a little bit more random, this is great for that. Now you also get the feature Tides of Chaos that you can activate. So when you activate, you gain advantage on your next attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. But the main thing here is it increases the chance of Wild Magic surges afterward. And this is going to increase the chance of proccing a Wild Magic surge from roughly a 5% chance to roughly a 45% chance. So much more likely to happen after you use Tides of Chaos. Now for your ability breakdown, I recommend 8 strength, 14 dexterity, 16 constitution, 8 intelligence, 10 wisdom, and then bumping your charisma to 17. As with most of the classes, I recommend that you can go and do the Hag quest. And with that, if you help her out, you'll have an ability to increase your charisma to 18. You could basically put plus 1 point to any stat, but here getting to 18 will help you get charisma to 20 naturally much quicker, and then you can utilize some of the other good feats that could be viable here. And at level 2, you're going to go ahead and get 1 level 1 spell slot, and you're going to also unlock sorcery points. Sorcery points are utilized so that you can alter spells or create extra spell slots, so either give you the ability to cast more spells, or using meta magic that we'll go over in a second to modify your spells. Now you gain the ability to create sorcery points, where you spend spell slots to gain more sorcery points, or in reverse you can create spell slots by sacrificing sorcery points. You will get to pick another level 1 spell slot. You will get to pick another level 1 spell. You can replace a spell if you wish. And then you have the meta magic feature. You're going to get to pick 2 of these. You can choose to use 1 sorcery point per spell to use Careful Spell, where allies automatically succeed saving throws against spells that require them. This is mainly if you cast a spell that damages both you and enemies, and this allows those saving throws to be automatically passed for your allies. Distance Spell increases the range of spells by 50% and even provides melee spells a range of 9 meters for 1 sorcery spell point. Extended Spell allows you to double the durations of conditions, summons, and surfaces caused by spells for 1 sorcery point. And then a big one is Twin Spell. Spells that only target 1 creature can target an additional creature. Now this costs 1 sorcery point per slot level used, and even cantrips will cost 1 sorcery point for this. At level 3, you're going to gain 1 level 1 spell slot. You're going to gain 2 level 2 spell slots, another sorcery point. You're going to get to replace a spell if you wish. You're going to get access to level 2 spells, and you can again pick one of them. You also get to add 1 more meta magic option, and there are going to be a couple new options to pick. The first one is Heightened Spell. So for 3 sorcery points, targets of spells that require saving throws have disadvantage on their first saving throw. Quicken Spell, which is another famous one. Spells that cost an action cost a bonus action instead for 3 sorcery points per spell. This basically lets you cast 2 main spells per level, 1 as an action, 1 as a bonus action. Now, Quicken Spell is a super powerful and famous one. Spells that cost an action cost a bonus action instead. This is huge because it will allow you to cast 2 spells per turn, 1 as an action and 1 as a bonus action. It costs 3 sorcery points per spell. And then there's Subtle Spell, which you can cast spells while silenced for 1 sorcery point per spell. Now at level 4, you're going to get a level 2 spell slot, 1 sorcery point. Now you're going to gain an option to replace a spell. You're going to get to pick another cantrip. You're going to get to pick another level 1 or 2 spell. And then you're going to get access to gaining a feat. Now, ability improvement is always great. Getting a charisma to 20 is going to be a great idea. Weapon caster is also amazing. You gain advantage on saving throws to maintain concentration on a spell. You already have proficiency in concentration for those saves, so it's going to maximize the chance that you don't lose concentration on a spell when you get hit. Spell Sniper is also very viable. You learn a cantrip, but that's not the big deal here. The big deal is that the number you need to roll a critical hit with a spell is reduced by 1, so basically increases by 5% from a 5% base chance to 10%. And then thematically, if you want to focus on a specific element, you can get Elemental Adept, so your spells ignore resistance to a damage type of your choice, and when you cast a spell of the type, you cannot roll a 1, so it just increases your damage potential. So that's another great one to choose from. At level 5, you're going to get 2 level 3 spell slots. You're going to get another sorcery point, a chance to replace a spell, and then pick another spell. Now it does give you access to level 3 spells. Here they are for your review. At level 6, you're going to get 1 level 3 spell slot, another sorcery point. You will get the ability to add another spell and replace a spell, and you're going to get Bend Luck. So for 2 sorcery points, you can give a target a 1d4 bonus or penalty to attack rolls, saving throws, or ability checks within 18 meters. At level 7, you're going to get 1 level 4 spell slot, another sorcery point. You can replace a spell, and then you're going to get to add another spell. Here are your level 4 options now. At level 8, you're going to get a level 4 spell slot, another sorcery point. Once again, you can replace a spell and add another spell, and then you're going to get to pick your second feat. At level 9, you're going to go ahead and get 1 level 4 spell slot. You're going to get 1 level 5 spell slot, another sorcery point. You can replace a spell, and now you get access to the 5th level spells, and here they are. At level 10, you're going to get another level 1 spell slot, another sorcery point. You can add another cantrip. You can add another spell. And you're going to add 1 more meta magic option. There's no new ones to choose from. At level 11, you're going to go ahead and get a level 6 spell slot, another sorcery point, the ability to replace a spell. And then here are your level 6 spells that you get to choose from. And then you get your final subclass feature, Controlled Chaos. Foes may suffer a wild magic surge while casting spells near your fluctuating magic. So you are quite literally spreading the chaos. And then finally, level 12, you're going to get 1 more sorcery point. You can pick 1 more spell. You can replace a spell. And then finally choose your final feat. Now let's talk about equipment for this subclass. I do want to point out the Sorcerer is utilized a lot in multiclassing that we'll discuss in a second. So what equipment you're going to wear as far as armor is going to depend on whether you're multiclass or not. If you don't multiclass, you have very little options. You're going to mainly be using, cloth clothing. You are for equipment very limited as well to quarterstaves, for example. Now I want to point out, because you can multiclass very effectively with either a paladin, because it's also charisma based, or a warlock, that may increase your options when it comes to equipment. Otherwise, for your other slots like jewelry, gloves, boots, etc., you're going to be looking for equipment that's going to really feed into your specific build setup you want. But very common to emphasize anything that will increase your DC check for your spell casting. Any items that are going to increase the amount of spell slots you have are popular, or give you access to additional spells to cast. And then of course you can always get any kind of equipment that's going to increase your AC, increase your survivability. Now finally, let's go ahead and mention multiclassing. The Sorcerer is amazing for multiclassing. The majority of your unique features are going to be right at level 1, especially with the wild casting here. Because they do get a lot of spells to cast, flavoring this into any of your paladin setups or a warlock setup, since they are both charisma based, is very, very popular. You can find a variety of builds out there on the internet, so do check those out. But again, this is a class and subclass that you're going to see a lot, and a lot of potential builds. Now do note, with this specific subclass, it is not for everybody. Some people hate randomness and chaos, and because of the wild effects being so random and both positive or negative, it is not for everybody. Alright guys, that brings us to the end of the Wild Magic Subclass Guide for the Sorcerer. Hope you found it helpful. If you do enjoy it, then make sure to drop a like, helps me out a lot. And of course, if you want to see more videos from me, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for all of your support, and I'll see you guys in the next video.